What I chose to do is I said, okay, what is my return on investment from investing in the technology in this building versus what would I have made in the stock market?
Okay.
And so the answer to that effectively is, drum roll, please. In the stock market, I basically in the last 3 years, if we look at the Dow Jones Industrial, it would have been about -3% over the 3-year period. You can argue depending on whether, but let's just say, even if you don't want to go that conservative, you can say you didn't make any money in the stock market. Well, in the last 3 years, I made 100%.
Before the peak cold months in 2007, with the peak cold months in 2008 after the project, the gas and electric use dropped about 25%.
Just more comfortable in the building. It's just the heating is much more even. We're a lot less cold, and believe it or not, a lot less warm in the summer. And this building gets very hot in the summer, so it's also helped that way.
Would you say it's reduced your overhead cost?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Great. Yep. Every month we see the savings.
In 07, 08, when we were just getting started with this, our utilities bill was about $50,000 a year for the campus. I just did our summary for October of last year to November of this year, and we're at about $35,000 for our utility bills. So the key to having a successful program in transforming your facilities to something that's more energy efficient and more cost effective is to get a professional team of folks to come in and do an energy audit. It's an upfront cost depending on the size of the facility, but it's well worth it because it gives you the quantifiable approach to what you need to fix first and what will give you the highest payback for that investment, and it's incremental. If all you have is $10,000, go down the list to, okay, there's a project that's about $10,000, gives me a payback in so much time, and you invest in that, get your payback, and improve the efficiency. And you just continually, as funding's available, programs, grants, projects, you just systematically go through, okay, I have a chunk of money, and I can attack this project, this part of it, and eventually get your facilities to the next level of energy efficiency. And again, it's a direct correlation to your bottom line.
The big thing that occasionally I'll hear from business people is, well, what did it cost? And I tell them, you're asking the wrong question. The question is not what it costs. Your question should be, what is my return on investment? Because they look at it as a cost when in fact it is actually, it's like real estate, it's like the stock market, it's like anything else, it's an investment. So what do you look at when you look at an investment? You look at what's my return as compared to what my risk is, that this asset will go up or down, and so that's what I encourage them to do is say, I mean, I would much rather spend $100,000 on something that gave me a 3-year return than $100 on something that gave me a 5-year return.
Begin immediately. There's all kinds of first steps to take. Not everything costs a lot of money, too.
Don't hesitate. Particularly, there's some simple things. The lights were not expensive, and they are so much nicer. And I think they become mandatory very soon. T12s are being phased out, so you're going to do it pretty quick. Why wait? Some of these things for the insulation are just very simple. Doing that office upstairs did not cost a lot of money. It took me a long evening, to put the insulation up there. The garage door, there's no special expertise to do that. It's quick, easy, and cheap. Doing the wall, would be a hassle if the warehouse shelving was up there. But when an opportunity arises to do it where you have the space clear, that's the time to jump on it and do it. And that was only a couple $1,000. So it was easy to do. So I encourage people to do it. Quality of life, and you save some money.
Absolutely.
This was the big project, is that back wall. And we just, put 2x4s in there, put, I think it was R19 fiberglass on there, and then put a vapor barrier, and then put sheetrock on it and painted it. And that did, a huge improvement. We could tell right away that these space heaters weren't going on hardly at all, because they were constantly on before we did that. And after we did that, you could go an hour and then kick on for a little bit and kick off. So it's much quieter in here. Plus just the insulation from the concrete block, there was less echo. And the white instead of the gray just made the whole place look brighter. So that was a really nice project there.
Small company with only 13 people. We did have at one time, I think it was 6 servers. So all the servers were drawing power. What we did is we consolidated down to 2 main servers. This is a phone server, it's our file server, and this server here is virtualized, meaning it does all the tasks of the other 3 servers within one box. Also, the processor is a low wattage processor. This thing runs 24/7. So if we can get this thing to consume less electricity, every minute it's always on, so it helps out overall with the electric bill.
Great.
There is 1,500 watts of equivalent light in the case, and we're burning 165 watts. And the artifacts like it because there's no UV output from these LED lights.
So it's better for
Absolutely. That was the other part of the lighting, is protecting all of our artifacts from UV damage.
So what this does, if you've ever been to Costco in the wintertime and you go through the door, you go through a blower system. And so what this does is it blows a thin film of air down when the door opens up. And we only have it hooked up in the wintertime. And what that thin film of air does is it keeps the 2 air masses separated. So we can drive forklifts in and out without losing that much heat at all. So it's a highly pressurized thin film of air. It's like you've all worked around in warehouses where they have those plastic sheets that come down and you have to kind of work your way through them.
No.
We don't have to do that because it works like that. So we'll see if it's... Hey Gary, is the air curtain on?
Yes, sir, it is.
Oh, good. So I'm going to warn you guys then.
Oh, yes.
So.
That's awesome. Can I say that?
Yeah, good.
I go through the shapes
So
much.
Kate, if you come here and just stand in the middle, you leave one hand in here. You can tell this hand stays relatively warm. Like you know.
Yeah.